This is taking longer than I planned. I have no idea where I was. Again, Margaret Sanger. So everyone touted her, because she started Planned Parenthood, and that's just obviously an important thing. But she was also into eugenics, which is kind of purifying the race, if you will. So that's some fucked up shit. So we no longer want her name on Planned Parenthood. Look up eugenics, EUGENICS. It's horrible. And I guess she was a proponent of it, which no one knew, because now we have time to research it because no one else has a job. So that's what we're doing. Okay. In closing, I want to know, how are we arming our children to get out in the world and make the world a better place? How are we arming them socially? Are we giving them the tools that they need to be socially active, socially responsible, socially aware, and socially empathetic? I think that's our job. How are we arming them medically to advocate for themselves, to know that it's okay if you don't feel good, you can seek help, that is your right, and medical care, and that includes mental health care, should not be a privilege, and that it's okay to say you're not okay. That's okay. And how are we arming them psychologically to deal with all the things that are going on in our world? What tools are we giving them to navigate this fucked up situation that we're in right now? Well, I hope the first tool you give them is a mask. So here's the story. So you have a child, may or may not be mine, it's mine, who is so tuned in to the frailties of her mom's health, even though I don't have cancer, I'm not dying, there's nothing wrong with me that could kill me, except that I'm in a compromised population. Like my lungs may be compromised, my health is compromised in some ways. So this child, who has a circle of friends who she loves and adores, isolated herself pretty much for the first 3 months of this shit, did nothing. And then she started having little things out in the cul-de-sac, which I think I spoke of that, where her friends would come over and they would be 6 to 20, 100,000 feet apart and socialize. Then they started bringing that in a little bit. Then she had her friends over for dinner. It's like this group of 5 girls. And they took pictures with their college hats right here on my front wall. They had dinner. They sat at a big table, so they were far enough apart. Then they started doing things together, like kids would come over and swim. Small groups, though, never big. I'm not talking about any big groups. There was never more than 6 people in her orbit. And when she brought in new people, like, she felt confident that either they had been quarantining, isolating, or social distancing. Okay, well, things got different, and then people wanted to go camping, and then there was like, go do this and do that in bigger groups without judgment, because there's no place for judgment here. My daughter started feeling less secure in her ability to protect me. That's a heavy burden. So if she chose to go out into these gatherings, which sometimes could be upwards of 20 people, was she just saying fuck it to her mom? And she couldn't do that. She wouldn't do that. That's not who she is. So this caused an enormous physical, mental, and emotional strain on her. And I'm talking about tears like, should I leave? Coming home early, having panic attacks at the event. All of this has turned this healthy, strong, mentally agile child into a wreck. And then these kids that she's around, like, what's happening in their household? No judgments. I'm just curious, like, what are you telling your kids? How are you arming your kids? Just go out, have fun. You're a teenager, live your life. COVID doesn't really care about you. Mom and dad are healthy. We're not worried that you're bringing something home. Or after they go to one of these outings, do you make them quarantine for 2 weeks? Because they've been out somewhere, either at a party or camping or, going to the beach or whatever they're doing. with or without all the people that they know. Now, you know, you can give the basics like don't share food, don't share cups, you know, stay 6 feet apart. You can still have a conversation with someone 6 feet apart. You know, take care of all of that. You can say all that. You can say wear a mask, and they may or might not do that. But real people are having real struggles with this real problem. And I think we have to take it real serious. Okay, so this is part fucking 2000 of my vlog because I apparently have no storage. And when this is over, there's Grace.
Hi.
I don't know what time our clock says, but let's look. It's 11 o'clock. I'm pretty sure she just crawled out of bed.
Actually, no.
I can't wait to hear the story, but I'll hear it later. Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for checking in on me. My parting words are always the same parting words. Wear a fucking mask.
Peace.
Peace.